Hello, my name is Sekit, and we are playing FTB Revelation. And we're out here in the farm. Our golems are hard at work. I have moved a lot of the control seals so that these folks will pick up and do their things in a much larger area. Don't really see them doing the sugar cane, which is a shame. I thought they would do that, but well, we'll see. Now this crate is not a long-term solution. We're going to have to set up some storage drawers. And I made some of this trim. This is a block from storage drawers that isn't a drawer. It's pretty cheap. And it will allow your network, like your storage controller, to connect through it to drawers that connect to the trim. So what I want to do, let's get our, well, actually, let's test this without the key. We're going to need a lot of drawers out here. So let me just place these. So let's see, this should, yep, blocks everything. Perfect. Now we can just set these up and pipe right into them. Now I need to get a bunch more copper for the next thing I want to do, and a plexiglass mountain eaten by a grue reminded me of the existence of slime crystals. And I think we're going to see if we can upgrade two more. Upgrade our hammer and increase the durability. The bronze multiplier is okay, but this is much better. And I think we'll be able to repair it with slime after that. We shall see. Let's get our tough rod pattern. Yeah, okay, okay. That looks pretty good. So here we have a durability 1750. Here we'd have 2000. So that's an upgrade. Now let's see. Can I repair with these things? No, still cobalt to repair, but that's gonna help. Next thing I want to do is hook up a bunch of this system here so that we can process automatically. Now we're going to need a bunch of cable from refined storage, and we're going to need some import buses. I'll make the cable first. And the next thing we want to look at are these importers. These will allow us to take items from something and put them into the refined storage system. Alright, we got them. Put one right here. Put one right here. Very cool. There's one on the induction smelter. Now we're going to run cable down along here so we can connect up into the system. I'll just run it right along here. Very good. Cover this back up real quick. And now we have no basic processor in the system, right? But if we were to throw the raw basic processor inside the redstone furnace with the importer under it, saw it disappear, it'll go right in here. Now what we want to do is be able to make these things craft recipes from the system. So we're going to take a crafter, we're going to spin it around so it's pointing, the sort of arrow is pointing at the part of the machine where we have set to input. See it by the blue there. We're going to take some more cable, and we'll probably need more than that, won't we? Now we're going to run it right along here. There we go. All hooked up. You can see this has the lights on it now. So let's say we wanted to teach this thing how to make some bronze. Just find the bronze here. This is the stuff we want. The induction smelter. We'll find the not ridiculous recipe. Are we in the right GUI? I want processing. Well, let's try to do it manually. I think we can do it. 1 tin and 3 copper. Produce 4 bronze, right? Put that in there. Create. Knows it's a processing recipe, so let's see what happens. We'll have to take the bronze that's in here out. We've got quite a bit of it, but let's see if we can craft this stuff. Will it go in here? Aha! Yes, it will. Did it go right back out? Okay, the settings down here are all messed up. Let's try that again. Okay. Yeah, now we're talking. So it'll make some bronze, put it right in the system for us. Super cool. So I want 2 more crafters. I also would like to be able to spell. Okay, missing 4 advanced processors. Now I know we have the raw, but we do want to teach. Okay, well, we'll need a crafter for that anyway, won't we? Okay, we'll make some advanced processor. Okay, we got one for the furnace now. Let's get it flipped around proper. And you can see it doesn't need another cable. As long as it's touching another piece of the system, it'll be fine. So the next thing I want to learn, I don't know why, if that's just the nature of fine storage in this early version, why it wouldn't show production. Oh yeah, it does. Okay. So now for everything that needs glass, we'll have glass. But we are going to have to teach this thing how to make sand. Not red sand, regular sand. We're going to want to have a gravel in a pulverizer. Right? And we want to take that off. We don't want to think this is the system to think this is a way to make flint. We'll just confuse it. We can make gravel in the pulverizer with a little bit of cobble. And same deal, we want to take the sand out. We want to make another crafter. And now from our significant supply of cobblestone, we'll get all the glass we need. I got some more recipes to program in, then we'll be back. So now that we got our regular forestry piece up to a certain level with the Imperial, it's time to start looking at automating them. We're going to do that with Gendistry. This is an industrial apiary. It works just like the ones we have up in the bee area, but runs off of RF. And let's go ahead. Okay, the bee receptacle. We will certainly have to teach this thing how to make pressure plates and glass panes. A lot of bronze. Now we're going to want some of these upgrades. The automation upgrade is going to be key. Whoop, we're in the wrong GUI. Where's the green one? That's the planes emulation, light, hell emulation. Where'd it go? There it is. So bronze gear, piston. The upgrade frame is not that bad. But it's tedious to craft a lot of them, so it's Good thing we're investing in this refined storage setup. You know, while I'm thinking about it, I'm going to go ahead and make a crafting monitor. We'll just program in a recipe, it'll be fine. I would like to be able to see what's going on. This block will let us see anything that's being processed. Looks like we might have gotten stuck on a little bit of bronze there, trying to do two at once maybe, but there's our apiary. Very nice. And let's make our grade. So now we have power up here. Access to it anyway. What we're going to want to do is run some up. We don't really need that there. Up right here. Okay, yeah. Put the apiary down. Get a little bit of lag. Put upgrade in. I guess this is where we put the upgrades, huh? Now, if we were to put our unusual princess and our usual drone in here, okay. Seems like it's working. Of course, it's the middle of the night, so it's not going to do much. But we're going to want to be able to send down right here. And we're going to have a chest as what I hope is going to be a buffer for the produce. So I think what we're going to want to do is with the servo on the end of the item duct, we're going to want to go into whitelist mode. And when this is produced, it's, well, in this case, what is it, a mundane comb or something? Well, we'll see. What we don't want, I think, is the drones going down into the centrifuge system. We might want that. We'll find out. Okay, yeah, it eventually worked with one of the other bees. The unusual bees didn't give any honeycombs that cycle. But it's coming down here. Centrifuge is processing it. Now we just need to send it into a storage system. Now we got a couple industrial apiaries going up there now. I want to start trying to like get the bees I want to get. And I guess we'll start with a genetic sampler. We'll need to, oh, ender pearls, always ender pearl. Okay, so we got electric beehives, great. What does it mean? We have 4 pages of drones, 4 pages of princesses. We're going to want to get the bees we want without having to do the randomness of the bee breeding. The first step towards that is biomass. And for that, we're going to need a fermenter. I think it's too hard to make. No, it's not too hard to make at all. We'll just need a couple of bronze gears. Okay, here we are. Now, it's going to need 2 things. Now, we're going to give it an item duct and disconnect those 2 because that's not what we wanted doing. Very good. Let's see if we can get a chest up. Oh my gosh. There we go. Now it's going to take saplings, which we certainly have, and some kind of something in there. I think the easiest thing to use would probably be forestry fertilizer. And make that out of apatite and some other stuff. And we've got apatite's this blue stuff up here. We got a decent amount of it. So let's see what's all involved. And if we can put it... Okay, concentrated compound. There we go, now we're talking. Let's get off processing. The concentrated compound is probably some kind of a byproduct, but just use, we'll just do this. And let's say we'll make 2 stacks of it. Okay, here's just a little bit. Yeah, it looks like it'll go right in there. But we're gonna need, oh right, we're gonna need, I think juice in here. Now of all the juices and similar that we've been producing out here, probably the easiest one to get by far is the honey. So that's what we're gonna use. Oh, I guess you can just break those now. For some reason I was thinking that was a mechanism tank and I could break it. The thermal tanks, they used to break if you didn't, you'd lose all the fluid. If you didn't use the crescent hammer, I guess that's no longer the case. That's good to know. Or at least it's not the case in this pack. So we'll throw a servo in there, and we'll start filling this thing with honey. And indeed, we're getting biomass. That's good. Now what we have to do is convert it into ethanol in a fractioning still. And I think just for laughs, we'll use the thermal version. This will give us some stuff that we haven't made that we should be able to scan. Yes. Oh, it's going to take some Constantan too, huh? Nickel and copper. Does it have to be pulverized? I think it does. Okay, let's go ahead and learn that stuff. Okay, threw in a tank to use as a buffer. We'll pop this down. We don't want it connected here. All right, we'll get a servo over here. Set it to ignore redstone, and we'll need another servo on top. Let's get this guy set up. Here we go, configuration. All of this we want off, except for the top as an input. We want the back as an input. I don't think it's actually necessary for energy, but it's fine. And then we'll have our output going this way, right? So let's see how it does. All right. It's trucking right along, and it's just producing a little bit of ethanol as we figured it would. Now, what I've discovered looking through the crafting rabbit holes is that things have changed since 1.7, and we're gonna need bones. We're gonna need lots of bones. So we're gonna think about heading towards the Twilight Forest. Now, to prepare for the Twilight, because we're not prepared, I'm gonna see if we can upgrade our armor. Now, by the numbers, this is better. The question is, how might we go about enchanting it? That's what okay. We'd need to learn elemental tools, so we'd need to make all of this thaumium stuff. Okay, sweet. Let's go ahead and scan all of these. I'm sure we'll learn things. Definitely worth doing. Okay, so we can complete that. Elemental tools, all of these different things. Now, the Axe of the Flowing Stream is something that I think we want. This other stuff is cool. It is very durable. Look at that. But the Axe of the Stream, 60 water, 30 herba, that's worth doing. Yeah, we're in fine shape to make this. I'll tell you, if they're all this cheap, like, we're gonna make all of them. We'll get great wood, and finally the rare earths. You just find these mining stuff. It's pretty rare, but you do come across it. Let's get our casting glove, and we really need to make a new focus for this thing. Setting everything on fire is fun, but I've set a few things on fire that I would have preferred not to set on fire. We're doing okay here. We're doing okay. Very stable. I like very stable. Alright, I think it's finishing up. Yeah! Now this thing is fantastic. Okay, I looked at the recipes for the other ones, the other Thaumcraft tools beyond Thaumium, and they are all too cheap to pass up, so we're making all of them. It looks like all of these kind of rhyme. The last one used 2 water for acts of the flowing stream. This is going to use 2 air. I should say aqua, it used the last time. They both used rare earths, and they both used greatwood planks. So that's some nice commonality there to help folks like me who are poor of short-term memory. I'm going fine. 1 sword of the Zephyr. Now this thing is cool. I think you can kind of rise yourself up off the ground by right-clicking with it. So if you're in a real bad spot, there's something you can do with it. And we got the shovel of the earth mover. I don't even know what that does. Let's find out. The fancy thing with the shovel is what? Oh, okay, they're on these pages. Sword of the Zephyr. Very, very cool. Shovel of the earth mover. Okay, so it can do 3x3. Okay, so it's basically an excavator. If we right-click, it'll attempt to place a 3x3 section. So that's interesting. And there's some GUI and so on. The hoe of growth, which we're gonna make. Okay, so it can act as bone meal. It's not bone meal, which is why we're doing all this. But anyway, there's our fancy shovel. Go ahead and give it a scan. Pickaxe of the core uses fire crystals, and it has how do I put this? Kind of a prospecting mechanic where you can, it'll light up ores for you. You might check it out at some point. There it is, looking fancy. I guess it always has Fortune 1. That's cool. I love that. Now, last but not least is the hoe, which uses 1 Perdido and 1 Ordo. So we've got officially 1 tool for every sort, and 1 for the mirrored pair. Every elemental sort, 1 for the mirrored pair, I guess. But we better put the actual Thaumium hoe down. Alright. Alright. 1 hoe of growth. Very nice. So I needed an arcane infusion research to proceed with the enchanting. I've never seen anything that high before. Okay, that did give us 2. Awesome. I didn't know that was possible. Okay. I've cracked the problem and should now be able to add infusion enchantments to most tools. Some enchantments can be added multiple times. Each rank costs more essentia. Each different infusion also increases the cost and might give it warping. Certain infusion can only be subscribed to specific tools. Collector, burrowing. Oh my. Refining. Okay, that's an ore doubling mechanic, I think. Sounding, our pick comes with it. Destructive. Oh my. Okay, arcing It's for half weapons damage. Our sword does that. Essence Harvester. Oh. And Lamplighter. So these aren't the enchantments I was really looking for. I was looking for vanilla enchantments, which I thought you used to be able to do with this. Interesting. I mean, we can repair them with Thaumium, I'm sure. Those are all very interesting enchantments. But let's take a look at what the axe actually does. You know how much trouble we had chopping down these trees, even with the lumber axe. What's happening? Nothing? No, we're getting it's chopping. You just can't see it, right? It's chopping from the top. And as we put like efficiency and stuff on this, it'll happen faster. But for these trees that our friendly neighborhood lumber axe has trouble with, we now have the axe of the flowing stream. Yeah, it's starting to come. Now, any wood that we chop with this should flow towards us. There's also a kind of magnet mechanic, which is pretty handy. You just sneak and right click, and within a certain radius, it'll suck all items towards you. Yeah, now we're cooking. It definitely needs efficiency. And you can see the little bubble particle effects. That's the flowing stream portion of the show. All the wood just kind of flows towards you. And you can see this thing has done a really good job. It got the whole thing. And I was looking for vanilla enchantments. So, let's see here. Unbreaking 3, I will actually take. Now, if memory serves, what you do is you take flowers or saplings, I think mushrooms, surround a 2x2 of water, throw a diamond in and get out the way. Take you to the Twilight Forest. Alright, while it's loading in around us, we ought to make a waypoint. Let's see. Portal to Overworld. Nice capital V there. Okay, we're in the middle of an ocean. That's kind of funny. Now we're looking for a couple of things. Most importantly, a skeleton spawner. I know where we'll find one, but we're gonna need to do a couple of things first. So it's you know, a bit of a grind to it, but it's sure better than just digging around underground, hoping that we find one. That's gonna have to wait until the next episode. Thanks so much for watching. We'll see you next time. Bye-bye.